Hey there, holiday seasons. It is Christmas, and so for our Christmas special, we are reviewing the Christmas movie Bumblebee.
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 Christmas.
The Christmas
tree.
special.
Bumblebee the Christmas tree. Hey, Dave Vegas here, and welcome to the Film Slice Podcast. I'm here, as always, with my co-host, Kane Diggly Wiggly Kane Dogs.
Hello.
And formerly Bro Diddly Doo Broadman Richards, but this week, Broadzilla.
I've got plenty, yeah.
Broadzilla.
Broadzilla is the name of choice.
Ah, okay. Linking it to the previous name that I had 2 weeks ago.
Yeah. This week we're reviewing Bumblebee, the Christmas Miracle.
Bumblebee,
not the Christmas Miracle, it has nothing to do with Christmas, but
way.
this is being released on Christmas, so Merry Christmas to everyone listening, and I hope you enjoy this very unthemed podcast.
Yeah, I hope that somewhere in your Christmas day you find time to listen to this.
And Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays.
Yeah, happy holiday. So, Jordan, please tell us the Christmas Miracle of Bumble Jesus.
Okay. On the run in the year of 1987, Bumblebee finds refuge in a junkyard in a small Californian beach town. Charlie, on the cusp of turning 18 and trying to find her place in the world, discovers Bumblebee, battle-scarred and broken.
Much like a man I once knew, who was also away in a scrapyard, or in a manger.
They're exactly the same.
Anyway,
Yeah.
yeah, we'll get into it.
I'll wait for this joke to keep running through the
We'll get
podcast.
into
Are you
it,
sure
it's
the
fine.
name was Charlie? Are you sure it wasn't Samuel Witwicky?
No, it says Charlie.
Okay.
Oh, there you
Ladies man, to one side.
go. Cool, let's get into it. When you see the movie, what'd you think?
When you see the movie, what did you think? Do you like the movie? None of the shit.
Cane Dogs, yeah, go for it.
Well, so, brief little tidbit about my life. Right before Christmas, due to no fault of me or my girlfriend who live together, my house is now under renovations, right on Christmas, so we didn't have time to see this movie, so I saw it yesterday instead of helping my girlfriend paint a house with Brody.
Nice one.
Wink wink.
It was,
Sorry, Georgina, but he's mine now.
it was,
Oh, I said her full name. Oh, is she cool with that?
yeah, it's fine.
Okay.
Yeah, that's fine.
I'll bleep it.
Cat's out of the bag.
I won't bleep it.
Don't bleep, it's fine.
No, you have to keep in him saying it's fine, though.
Nah. Yeah, no. In contrast to what I probably should have and could have been doing, this movie was terrible. And by itself as a movie, this movie was terrible.
Very good, Broadman. I guess we knew when you saw it.
Yeah, I saw it.
What'd you think?
I went to see it yesterday, Arvdo.
With his GF.
Yeah,
really?
with the GF. And I thought it was bad. but
I like that you looked at your iPad
yeah,
to see what you
I had to look at my
down.
notes. I had to check my notes. Yeah, my notes say it was bad, but it's probably my favorite of the Transformers films. So there you go. What about you, Wanglis?
Me, I saw it yesterday.
Ooh.
Yesterday, Arvo, and I actually enjoyed it. I thought it was a bit of fun. I thought it was.
Oh no! Oh no! I can't be bothered arguing today. It's Christmas Eve.
I thought it was a bit of fun. There was definitely things I didn't like about it, but definitely a step above the other Transformers movies.
I think somewhere between the beginning of this movie, like the opening scene, and the end of this movie, it went really bad. The whole thing was really bad.
Well,
Cool, so that's what I thought.
Oh, no.
Alright, lads, you know every week how I put up on Instagram and Twitter, and Jordan by himself only does Facebook as well. That's his job. Everyone knows that. Everyone's okay with that. That's fine.
that's fine.
Everyone knows that. And normally no one replies. I asked our Slicey Slices what we're...
Slices.
If they've seen it, what they thought. Let me just quickly jump on into Instagram, and nothing there. And Twitter, we've got nothing.
Nothing.
Yeah,
Are
awesome.
you a slicey? Are you a slicer? We have no affiliation with knife-based crime. Over to you, Jordan.
But call in now and you do get a free set of steak knives with every purchase. Cool. Thanks for that, Slicey Slices. Thanks for your input.
Merry Christmas!
Merry
Say
Christmas.
no to crime.
Let's move on. Would you recommend it? Who would you recommend it to? Cane Dogs. Let me guess. No and no.
Incorrect. Yes, and I think this movie is going to do exactly what it's designed to do, which is sell lots of toys. I think this movie is aimed at 6 to 10-year-olds, and it will be perfect for that age. I think if I saw this movie at 6 or 7, it would have been my favourite movie, and I'm sure it still will be for lots of kids, and it'll sell all the toys. So for that, it'll be
sure
fine.
It'll be for all the kids, and I'm sure it'll sell
Yeah,
all
it'll be
the
great.
toys,
All the
and
toys
it'll be all
and
good,
all-
and we'll all come
I'm
back
sensing
down again
Jordan's
here, and then
rambling
go up a
voice.
bit high when I'm a little bit stressed, and then come back down to finish my point.
That's how I deliver words.
Can you imagine if you talk like this, but then you ended up in here?
Well, that's how I deliver questions. So I only talk with
Amazing.
those two inflections. Anyway, I shouldn't have told Brody that that's the thing that I do, because Brody's.
I've always noticed
he's
it,
going
but
to be
I've never
hyper
mentioned it.
aware.
I've never mentioned.
Bro, man, would you recommend it? Who would you recommend it to?
Oh god, we're all doing it.
Wouldn't recommend this one. I'd only recommend this one to if you're a diehard fan of the Transformers films. Very specific there, because like I think if you like all of the other films, then you'll probably like this one as well.
Yeah.
But then if you're a kid, obviously probably directed towards kids.
If you're a kid and listening to this podcast, you should probably stop.
Fuck off.
It's probably no good. You should probably not. It's definitely not.
John's
not
words,
for you.
not mine. It's weird because this is directed towards a kid, but it's set in the 80s, so there's a lot of 80s references that they would not get.
Yeah, there's a lot of nostalgia. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
Disagree.
So it's odd.
Anyway,
Well, there is.
nah, disagree.
There's no nostalgia in this film.
No, I disagree that there is nostalgia in this film. Anyway.
Angus.
Okay. Guess we'll have a debate about what nostalgia is later.
How about you? Yeah,
that's
it has a definition.
That's that food.
It does have a
That's
definition.
that food that you buy, right? There was no one was eating any nostalgia in this movie.
I had a whole jar of nostalgia.
had a whole jar of nostalgia before I came to you.
I definitely would recommend it. Cane Dogs, I agree with you. It is kind of for more of a juvenile audience, which is probably why I liked it so much. But
Yep, that
it's
explains
very
a lot. How
very
drunk
childlike.
or hangover were you?
I only had one pint.
I feel you only have two states.
I only had one keg.
Yeah, no, I thought it was fine, and there was definitely some nostalgia in it for me. Probably not.
Sure.
I think there was nostalgia.
I'll
There's Transformers nostalgia. I didn't find any 80s nostalgia because I think of the things they took from the 80s, they took the wrong
It was very
things.
genetic.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, we'll get it.
Genetic? You mean generic, right?
No, genetic. You know, genetically 80s. You know the jar of genetics?
Okay.
I had a whole bowl of genetics.
Brody, can I
Merry
just say,
Christmas, everyone.
Brody was on my side with that line of questioning, but Brody decided to only agree with me via facial expression, and therefore...
Yeah, as I often do. Jordan,
Actually, I'm
don't
pretty
tell the
sure-
people what I'm doing when I'm not speaking. Pretty
I will-
shoddy. You can miss this one.
Yeah, you can miss this. I will say that I was going into this film and like, oh, this isn't directed by Michael Bay. This would be good. And then the first thing that comes up is produced by Michael Bay, and I was like,
Yeah, of course it is.
they've tricked me.
Also done by, is it Allspark Productions?
Yeah.
So
there's
they've
now a
obviously- they've-
Transformers production company.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if you've made $8 billion a year, you
Yeah.
might as well.
Which is interesting. Why has it made that?
And the other
much
thing
money?
that came up that made me like go, oh, this won't be good, was like Hasbro Productions.
Yeah.
And Hasbro specifically are a toy company that owns Transformers. And it was like Hasbro
A toy company
Productions.
straight
like
from
the
the
bit,
80s.
Yeah,
I
and I
really
was
like
like,
the bit in the
ooh.
credits where it says based on the Hasbro action figures.
Yeah, I know.
It's like not even based on any sort of story or anything. It's based on action figures. I love it.
So I went in and I was like, you know what? It's not done by Michael Bay. I've been told
Imagine
it's
if
a
there was
first
something
take.
else based on action figures, like G.I. Joe or something.
Anyway, I went into this.
Are they
thing-
Hasbro as well?
Yeah.
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 Hasbro are rolling that dough.
They also owned Marvel for a while. They don't anymore, but they did.
Really?
Yeah.
There you go.
I heard
While we grew up, they did.
that the CEO for Hasbro has suck on D's,
Okay.
which is pretty intense.
What is it?
Suck on D's nuts.
Oh no. Brody, are you proud of yourself for that joke? Are you proud of yourself?
I did it just to get a laugh out of Angus, and I got a laugh out of Angus. So I am proud. I am proud.
You know,
I was literally like, I missed what he said. I'm really sorry, but can you repeat that? You got me. You got me good. I get just before we go into spoilers. Style-wise, this is kind of different. Yeah, like the Transformers are
to the other films.
Yeah, to the other films, like they seem more kind of cartoony.
What they've done is they've simplified the design of the Transformers, which I always thought they should do.
Yeah,
because although they tried to make it realistic with the first set of films by putting like a bunch of
every
extra
piece
detail,
of the car,
like every single minute detail that you could zoom in on is still hundreds and thousands of little wires and stuff, and that's where all of their money to the editing is gone.
Yeah,
but it's more recognizable to have simplified things, because when you think of the toys, it was just like a block of yellow with a robot inside of it.
Yeah.
Like
there was five parts moved.
Yeah, like, so by simplifying it, they've made all the characters more recognizable.
Yeah,
which will lead into my positive.
I mean, when I was a kid, we didn't have enough money to afford Transformers, so I used to just shove G.I. Joes into butter.
Brody's on a roll today. And by on a roll, I mean he should stop talking for 5 minutes and think about his life. Anyway, moving on.
I think we're going to head on into spoilers then.
Oh, what a cool sound effect, Angus.
Alright, we're in the spoiler section where we dissect and divulge everything about the film. You've been warned. Merry Christmas to you all.
Santa's not real. Spoiler.
Whoa. Dude.
To all those kids
we have not told Angus about... You did not consult me.
We said spoilers.
You didn't...
Okay. That's covered. I'm covered. I'm scot-free.
Brody, I like to think that Santa is more of an ideal and a way of life that people take up in order.
Santa is a way of life.
I
love all those people that go into that room every morning. They kneel down and say, "Namaste, Namaste, Santa."
You know what? I'm gonna be a bit Santa today.
Yeah,
I'm gonna be a bit Santa.
You know what? Yesterday was pretty bad. Today's gonna be Santa. You know what? While you might be this way,
let's all be a bit more Santa.
Yeah, we can all be a bit more Santa.
I think Brody's a bit more Satan today.
Hey,
all right, let's get on
to a person that tortures people.
Spoiler's not real. It's fine. Anyway, go on.
Jordan's view on religion. There, we're getting some heavy topics in today's episode of the Bumblebee podcast.
Who'd have thought?
Yeah, that is.
Cinema
we
Dicks.
have to talk about something.
Cinema Dicks. Anyone got Cinema Dicks? Bro, me.
I went to cinemas with Jordan.
Jordan, I have a feeling I may be the cinema dick.
A veteran cinema movie goer. Been seeing movies his entire life. He has seen 51 this year. Probably more.
That's
Probably
actually
more.
Yeah, more, because I've seen a lot of them twice.
So if you went into a theatre and there was a completely empty row, where would you sit in that empty row, Angus? Jordan, don't say a word.
I'd sit in the middle.
You'd sit in the middle, right? It's the best seat to view a
and that's
film.
That's where the sound system's actually projected.
Yeah.
So if you sit to a side,
if I said that Jordan, the veteran moviegoer, sat 3 seats into the
I have a
empty
defense
row,
for this.
What would you say about that?
You're a fucking idiot.
Yeah, there you go.
Move down the row.
I've written that down as well.
Literally.
Yeah, pretty much.
This movie
Jordan
is bad.
choosing the wrong seat at the cinemas. Why didn't you choose the middle, Jordan?
Because, and I have a defense for this as a veteran moviegoer, the one thing that shits me the most is people that sit behind me and kick my chairs and shit. And there was a family of kids behind it in the row. So in the middle of the row that I picked, behind that was like a family, like a dad and 2 kids. And I didn't want to...
Sort of goings-on might happen in bloody Melton, Jordan, but it won't happen down in bloody Woolway.
So I don't want kids kicking the back of my chairs, and I don't want to have to hear the kids
Jordan,
be like,
you were with
Bumblebee!
me. You were with me.
Yeah, I don't want to be
in the back of a bald, tall man's seat.
Very good, very good. All right, let's head on to our positives. K-Dogs, you said you wanted to... move on into your positives.
So I've 2 positives. One of them will be everyone's, and one of them is just my own. But the one that's probably everyone's is the opening minute and a half of this movie.
Yeah.
On Cybertron for me.
Yeah.
That was really nostalgic as someone that really that owns the original 80s animated series on DVD. I have the movie. I haven't watched them since I bought them, but I bought them based on nostalgia because I used to watch them as a kid, and seeing all of the recognizable Transformers, like there were as I said, being simplified made it easier to actually recognize who they were. And I actually brought in some classic sort of Transformers, some of which I owned.
Soundwave.
Some of which I owned as a kid.
Yeah.
Like
so that
Optimus
was
Prime.
Yeah, well, like I owned like 7 Octopus, but it was really
Octopus Prime.
Optimus Prime.
Optimus Prime.
That classic.
That's got to be a thing already.
Surely.
I'll look it up. That classic Transformer Optimus Prime. Optimus Prime.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that and my other positive is there's a part where John Cena is walking towards the girl and whatever the kid's name was and Bumblebee, and they're in like a big sort of helicopter, like fucking sort of like hangar, and there's a big roller door, and he walks and he goes, "That door is in my way," and that just made me laugh because it was just ridiculous.
Fair enough.
Those are my two positives.
He's got a few interesting lines.
He's got every single line he has is a one-liner.
Is a one-liner, yeah.
And they're all
I do
bad.
like there was a one-liner that he did at it was like the round table where they were deciding whether they can trust the Decepticons. They're literally called Decepticons. Is this not ringing any bells?
They call themselves Decepticons.
There's a part that I couldn't help. Oh, we'll get into it when I get to the negatives.
Yeah.
But John Cena is my favourite and most hated character of this film.
Fair enough.
Wow. There's a real roller coaster there.
Oh, I'm an emotional guy.
A real helicopter there. They also go up and down. Jordan.
Brody's on a roll.
Your positive is my negative. That
Okay.
first scene in Cybertron. Just setting that up for later.
Okay, set that
cool.
up. I actually really like that first scene. I did really enjoy because it kind of got me in the mood of
There is a
okay, so
major-
this is more kind of childish, like more kind of back to the original cartoon. Especially when I saw Optimus Prime and he was like
The actual
not
Optimus Prime, yeah.
I really love the main actor, Haley Steinfeld.
Yep.
Steinfeld.
who will know
Steinfeld.
from Pitch Perfect.
Yeah, she's in the Pitch Perfect films.
Yeah,
She's also in
one of your
True
favorite
Grit,
films.
an incredibly good film by the Coen brothers. But yeah, she's in the Pitch Perfect films, Angus.
Oh, she's also Gwen Stacy in The Amazing Spider-Man.
Oh, that's
I mean, Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. Yeah,
I was going to say Emma Stone is...
yeah. No. She's the voice of Gwen Stacy in
cool.
the movie that we reviewed yesterday.
Good on her.
Yeah.
If you're listening to this one day at a time.
Yeah, we reviewed it yesterday.
We
Sure.
reviewed it the podcast before this one if you're listening to us
Yeah,
without pause.
also known as last week.
Yeah, yes.
We didn't. We didn't even record these back to back. There's been a week between recording sessions.
Yeah.
Angus is just a.
What's great is people listening to this won't know whether you're telling the truth or bullshitting.
I'm a bit of a duffer today.
Yeah.
All right.
He has also
a bit of a
slept
duff.
for a whole week.
Yeah. Broadman.
My
Positives.
yes, I really like Haley and I really like John Cena.
Mm-hmm.
I really liked them in stuff. So like they were probably the two best parts of this film for me. Because like even though it wasn't I didn't like this film, I think that Haley did a great job and she kind of like worked and like did her best with whatever she got handed, if that makes sense. And John Cena's just having a bit of fun. And I like him for that.
Yeah, he's absolutely having a bit of
He's
fun.
having a ball of
It's
time
like-
this year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's done good.
Nice.
I
I also really liked. This is the second film we saw this year where someone is forced to jump off a crane onto another tall
yeah,
structure. Who did it better?
The Rock? Or
Whoever
Haley
that girl.
Haley Seinfeld?
Sure.
What's with the crane? I gotta jump off the crane.
What's with the crane? That's amazing.
That's my impression of Haley Seinfeld. Everyone. So my positives are K-Nogs. I really like the first scene. I won't go into that anymore because you already said it.
Thank you.
I actually really liked the nostalgia of the old VW. And lads, you guys know, but for our listeners, they might not know. I've travelled the land. I have spent a lot of my time fixing up VWs.
Well, specifically
a
the
combi
one
van.
that you bought that has broke
Specifically
every
a combi
moment
van.
since we've been in it.
But like I have
Literally broke down whilst we drove it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Right.
But I have
Multiple
like
times.
Because you were driving it together?
He's also actually wearing a VW shirt right now.
I am, yeah.
That is a good point.
I do love my V-dubs.
I'm wearing Porsche socks.
I think Brody needs to go to bed. I can't tell if this is the result of Brody not sleeping or a result of Brody
No, I
sleeping
got a
too
good
much.
night's sleep.
Yeah, I think he's got a good night's sleep. He's actually got some energy.
It's the first time Brody's had a good night's sleep in like 15 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But so I I have actually been into scrapyards and like taking apart cars and everything, and I really like the attention to detail when like she first sees the VW, and I like distinctly remember this scene where she opens up the car and there's just dust on the dashboard, and there's something like really like nostalgia-y for me, and I think that's something that Transformers in the first one kind of missed out. Like there was a mechanic, but she was also like the eye candy for all the guys, and she wasn't actually a mechanic.
Yeah,
but like
the first one really doesn't hold up.
She was
really doesn't.
You're like, oh, this film's really good bad.
She was a mechanic.
Yeah, but like this one, it's actually like they kind of delve just a bit further into like mechanics of cars and stuff, and like she's got like carburetors and pulls them out of boats and all that.
At the same time, this leads
really
into
cool.
one of my negatives.
What are those car places called where you go and you can take your past? What is it, like pick apart? Is that what they're called? Pick apart? Pick apart. Is it called pick apart?
I don't know.
We keep saying pick apart. What are your
sure.
Yeah, it's called pick apart.
Yep.
Yeah, it's one of these pick apart places. I've been to them before, like searching because sometimes people just take their car in or a car gets towed or whatever.
Yeah.
Sometimes you can find great stuff in them.
Yeah.
So we used to go because I remember
We found Brody there.
Yeah, that's I was found there. Yeah, my name is Brodzilla, but sure. I was
I wasn't
found
talking
there.
about you, Jesus.
You found Jesus
My
there
name's
too.
not Jesus.
Found Jesus there.
Gee, what's happening?
Merry Christmas.
We went to Big Part because you would often find old computer parts just in the back of cars because people would just leave computers in the back of cars.
Of course they would.
For some reason, yeah, I have no idea why. It's like, yeah, that was great. That was great. So yeah, when I was watching that scene, I was like, yeah, this reminds me very much of doing that as a kid.
Yeah. I really like that. So there was a bit of nostalgia there for me.
Yeah.
Cool. Let's head on into the negatives because Cane Dogs, you got places to be, man.
I really do.
All right, let's go. Let's do this. Negatives.
Very quick. I'm gonna just list some of these off. One, the reason I don't like the idea of calling this film 80s nostalgia is because Stranger Things did 80s nostalgia so perfectly. They actually touched on things where even though I didn't grow up in the 80s, I looked at it and went, damn, I remember these things. And I remember like my brother talking about stuff like this. None of this film felt real. All of this film felt like an old Power Rangers show where everything is sort of hyper real and everyone's wearing... Like, none of it felt like it was actually happening in any place at any point in time.
Also, I guess that The Breakfast Club was the only movie that was released in the 80s.
Yeah, okay, so just touching on that, every time they were doing or watching anything, it was just like, this is the biggest thing to come out of the... It's like if I were to sum up 2012 as all anyone did, regardless of who you were, is we just listened to Gangnam Style on repeat. That's like...
That's pretty close.
But it's not like if I were to cut back to
I also
what...
got
like,
drunk a lot. And sang and danced along to Gangnam Style. So yeah.
But
So
like,
Jordan,
my
that was a very, very poor...
No, my point is just because one thing happened in the 90s doesn't mean that's all everyone was doing and watching. That's just one thing.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
My point is, in terms of nostalgia, none of this felt like
Fair
it
enough.
actually happened.
Yeah, a lot of it was the most, like, cardboard cutout.
Canned.
Yeah.
Canned nostalgia, yeah.
Tried to think
phone's
of
not on silent.
the
My bad.
80s. Yeah, so like with the Breakfast Club and like the Smiths and stuff.
And then everything else, none of it felt real. None of it felt like real people.
Never gonna give you up.
Another thing that I didn't like is everyone... The only character that was fleshed out in this was the girl, and every other character in it changed their... Everything they did and thought was specifically based on clearly driving an emotional arc for the girl.
Driving. Nice one. Yep.
So, for instance, like, it didn't make sense. Like, she'd wake up and the mum would be really nice, and then in a split
Are you saying
second
that all
later...
the people shifted their storylines, their motivations around the girl?
Change speed.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
in the
Sorry,
morning, they'll
continue.
have breakfast to fuel up.
Really took a left turn there.
Ooh, they indicated.
And safely executed a left turn. Please continue.
Should I just U-turn this all the way back to when I was talking?
He joined in.
Yeah, just stick it in reverse. We could...
Me.
Wheels!
That shouldn't have got the laugh from Brody. It hasn't. It doesn't deserve a rise out of Brody.
I was going to make a motorbike one, but that's way better than anything I had.
Please continue.
Oh, really? Thanks.
Yeah, put it in the drive, Jordan.
So angry. Anyway, so it was a lot of just characters having an opinion or saying something that was like upsetting or mean just so she could have an emotional turn in that moment.
That being said, I do like some of the motivations of this film. I liked her motivation to be to like repair a car. Like it was her bond with her father.
Except apparently she could have done that anytime she wanted to, because she at one point she's like, I give up, it'll never be done. And then at the end of the film she puts one other bit on it and then it drives perfectly fine.
Yeah.
So she was very close to finishing that car.
I totally bought the relationship she had with her father, or like lack thereof now that he'd passed away.
Anyway, Brody, your negatives, now that I've listed all of them.
I'm really concerned.
Have a rant.
Oh yeah. So your favourite part, the starting scene, was one of my least favourite scenes, because Bumblebee rocks up late and says, sorry, there was a lot of traffic. On Cybertron, Bumblebee makes a human joke to Optimus Prime, who has the windshield of a truck on his chest, and I was just like, what the hell? They're on Cybertron, they don't know what trucks look like. What's happening? And he's making a human joke, and then Optimus is like, I'll meet you on a planet far away called Earth. And I was like, how does he know it's called Earth? Okay.
I don't.
It then cuts from Cybertron. So like when the film opened, it said Cybertron at the bottom of the screen, right? When it cut from Cybertron to Earth, it then said Earth at the bottom of the screen. And that annoyed me beyond belief. Because who doesn't know? Who doesn't know that what they're showing is Earth, right? A bunch of trees come up, it zooms in, and then there's like John Cena and a bunch of military guys, and I'm like, they did not need to put Earth at the bottom of the city. It's like, oh, it must be still Cybertron. Like, I understand them putting 1987. That makes sense. That's setting up the time period, right? But to put Earth there?
Very good. All right, so I'm going to run through my negatives. I really didn't like any of the teenager problem stuff. Like, there was kind of like this high school awkwardness.
This is the most generically written thing I've ever seen.
It was genetically written, John.
Genetically, yeah. It's so genetic. And yeah, so that, Broadman, I thought you would have said this. They obviously spent so much money on CGI and making the Transformers look really good. In the clip, like the first cliff jump scene where the guy jumps off, was terrible.
Yeah. Oh, how horrible was it? Bad. It looked like he jumped off from 5 feet high. Yeah. He jumped off. He was in the air for a second, and then he was in the water that was like 100 feet down. That looks terrible.
You can spend millions on Transformers.
I've grown blind. I've been watching all of these films this year. It's just like it doesn't even affect me anymore. It's just my soul has been chipped away so much.
Okay, so I've got. So another negative that I really disliked, and it happened in the first movies way more, and I was hoping that they would get rid of it, but the unnecessary nudity. There's a guy that takes his top off.
Oh, yeah.
Like, the main character, she, like, accidentally spills drink on his shirt, so he immediately takes his top off. Yeah. I'm like, oh, that's kind of a douchey thing to do.
And then later, when they're just driving the car, and she's like, quick, take your t-shirt off.
She
puts it on her head for a reason that I have no idea why, and then it blows away in the wind. That was a really confusing scene.
She's also got a jacket on.
Yeah.
As well as her top. She's got two tops on.
And then he ends up wearing one of her jackets, which is why it looks so small on him.
Anyway, I guess we're going to leave that there. Any closing comments on this film, lads?
Yeah,
they've both given up. They're just throwing
we got that one.
Christmas treats into each other's mouth.
Do you want one?
No, I'm good.
Merry Christmas.
They're done. Christmas. They're done with Bumblebee. They're done with the year. They're done with the whole bloody year.
Yeah.
51 episodes. We missed one somewhere.
Yeah.
For some reason.
Yeah.
Next episode is next year, so... But we've done one each week.
Yep.
So
Which also doesn't make sense because one of them was like an Oscars. Like, we've done extra, if anything.
Yeah.
Oh, that still went into the number of them.
And I think that went into the number of them.
I'm very confused by this.
Anyway.
I may have made a mistake somewhere down. It's like,
there's got... episode 39 and episode 39.
The other thing is we started... and we started in... We started the year before this as well.
We started last year.
I started in December of last year. You're 2 behind.
So actually,
tune in for the 51 week a year podcast.
So if
we don't take a week off, we just somehow figure out a way to defy time.
Angus has very clearly just written the same number twice. So somewhere we have
If you can find my mistake, you'll get our first piece of merch sent out to you.
A set of steak knives.
Thank you for listening to the Film Size Podcasters, and we really appreciate all of your support that we have had this year, and we hope you've had a fantastic year, and we look forward to seeing you guys again next year. Merry Christmas. Don't forget that you can find us on iTunes and YouTube. And Santa, what is that doing here?
There's Santa into the building.
Hello, boys.
Hello.
And he's not wearing pants.
No, it's Australia. You don't wear pants in Australia.
Oh, true.
He's wearing jorts.
He's wearing, I'm wearing jorts.
Yep.
My second favorite.
Santa's wearing jorts.
Why are you here? Why
He's
are
also
you here,
wearing.
Santa?
He's also wearing a denim coat.
Lads,
I think Santa just really likes denim.
And Crocs.
I've got a present for you both.
Wait, there's 3 of us here, though.
Yeah, including Santa.
No, I'm taking Angus away.
Oh, is that the present?
Oh, he's
He was your present last year. I hope you used him well.
Wait,
we bloody rode that horse for 51 podcasts. So yeah.
Do you specifically
very
remove
useful.
presents after a year?
Yes.
This is a weird continuity that you've invented for this Film Size Pod related segment.
how it's always been done.
Jordan, I want to know what my bloody present is. Okay? Santa, what's my present?
I didn't think this happened.
Anyway, thank you for
I
listening,
was
everybody.
hoping something would come to me.
Can they just Angus again for another year?
Sure, you can keep it for another year.
Okay.
Comic
Merry Christmas.
Gold,
Merry
everybody.
Christmas, Santa.
Thank you very much. We'll see you
Thanks
next year.
for showing up.